Starting in 2016, I got an amazing tour of the world of places I had never heard of, with remarkable similarities across countries. My name is Michelle Gibson, and I am Michelle Gibson, TY Ordinary Pete. In 2016, I made some connections, literally by connecting cities in North America that I noticed lining up, and by discovering a code of sorts of keywords that cover up ancient infrastructure, by calling them natural features, and by seeing other similarities worldwide by following these lines. The cities and places in alignment that I'm going to focus on in this video emanates from the places that you see pictured here, and all of which line up directly on one side of this star tetrahedron. Merida, Mexico, where Chichen Itza is located. The Mississippi River Delta. Mobile, Alabama. Moundville, Alabama. Memphis, Tennessee. Nashville, Tennessee. Western Kentucky. Indianapolis, Indiana. Grand Rapids, Michigan. Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. Isle Royale, Lake Superior, which was also the location of ancient high-grade copper mines. Chapleau, Ontario. Moosonee, Ontario. Fort Albany, Ontario. And James Bay, Hudson Bay. From here, I extended this line out and connected consecutive cities across the Earth in a long-distance alignment with each other. The next place on this alignment are the Belcher Islands, looking like abstract art from the air. It also appears that the Belcher Islands are in alignment with other important cities and places on the grid in North America. This alignment passes very close to Ottawa, Ontario, the capital of Canada, and a location sitting at the intersection of two sides of one of the tetrahedrons, and looks like it is tracking through Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, another significant location. The next place we come to is Inukjuak. It is located on the Hudson Bay at the mouth of the Inuksuak River in northern Quebec, Canada. Next, we come to the Fox Basin in Hudson Bay. The alignment is specifically with the Fox Channel. While not pictured here, it is in the lower part of the Fox Basin. The next stop on the alignment is Baffin Island, which is the largest island in Canada and the fifth largest in the world. Baffin Island has some really interesting looking landforms. And here are comparison photos of the Palisades of the Hudson River in New York and New Jersey on the top and in the center, and on the bottom a photo taken of Baffin Island. This alignment then crosses over the Clyde River on Baffin Island, where there is a small Inuit community. More blocky rock shapes by and in the river. On to the alignment crossing over to Thule, Greenland. Thule Air Base is the United States Air Force's northernmost base and is home to the 21st Space Wing's worldwide network of sensors for space surveillance, among other things, for the North American Aerospace and Defense Command, or NORAD. I see some interesting features in the landscape here as well. Next on the alignment is Nuussuaq, Greenland. Again, very interesting land features. From Greenland, the alignment crosses over the Arctic Ocean to the Svalbard Islands, which are located halfway between Norway and the North Pole and are claimed by Norway. Here are some interesting things about the Svalbards. One is that a community named Pyramiden, which is an abandoned Russian settlement and was a coal mining community, is located here. Also, the Svalbard Global Seed Vault is located here, near Longyearbyen, which, according to Wikipedia, is described as a secure seed vault to preserve a wide variety of plant seeds that are duplicate samples in the event of a large-scale crisis. Primary funders include the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and various governments worldwide. The next place on this alignment is Novaya Zemlya, which is a boomerang-shaped island off the northern coast of Russia. The indigenous population, the Nenets, subsistence hunters today, were resettled to the mainland in the 1950s. Since then, Novaya Zemlya has been a nuclear weapons testing site, among other things. As we will see, there was a pattern of nuclear testing sites along this particular alignment. After leaving Novaya Zemlya, the first place the alignment enters is the Yamal Peninsula. In the language of the Nenets people, large-scale nomadic reindeer herders who are the indigenous inhabitants of the area, Yamal means end of the land. The Yamal Peninsula holds Russia's biggest gas reserves. Russia's largest natural gas project in history puts the future of traditional nomadic reindeer herding at risk. As a side note here, I observed as I went through my research process that the Earth's grid lines approximate tectonic plates. This could account for the occurrence of the sinkholes here. Geomancy is an ancient science in which the ancients used stones, rocks, crystals, and physical things to change the energy flow of the Earth. Structures were built on very specific sites to change the internal flow inside the Earth and the external flow above the Earth. Energies created by volcanoes, tectonic plate pressures, geopath lines, and different kinds of internal structures. Next, we come to Tarko Sale, Russia. Tarko Sale is an urban-type settlement that is the administrative center of the Yamalo-Nenets Administration Okrug. It is also the headquarters of Russia's largest independent gas producer, Novatek. The next stop is Novosibirsk, Russia. It is the third most populous city in Russia. In the next two slides, there is a direct comparison of the similar building features and facade ornamentation at the top of the building shown in Novosibirsk in Russia and showing behind Trinity College at Cambridge University. Novosibirsk is located in southwestern Siberia on the Ob River, which is the world's 7th longest river. Barnaul, Russia is next on the alignment and is a city and administrative center of the Altai Krai in the West Siberian Plain, located at the confluence of the Barnaulka and Ob rivers. I see a definite architectural similarity between the building pictured on the top, which is in Barnaul, Russia, and the one on the bottom, which is in Invercargill, New Zealand, located at the very southern tip of New Zealand. How can this be explained by the historical narrative we are given? I do not believe it is adequately explained, given that only in the 20th century are we taught in school did the technology exist for rapid transcontinental travel and communication, facilitating the sharing of ideas and knowledge. I believe the actual explanation for the similarity was a unified worldwide civilization that has been removed from our collective awareness deliberately. Next, the alignment crosses the Sayan Mountains, a mountain range located in southern Siberia, Russia, and northern Mongolia. The appearance of the Sayan Mountains is quite interesting. Here are some examples. From here, the alignment crosses over the Altai Mountains in Mongolia. So on the top here is one of the stone men in the Altai Mountains of Mongolia, pictured in the previous slide, compared in the middle with the stone man near Lake Issyk in Kyrgyzstan, and on the bottom with stone men in Lorolindu National Park in central Sulawesi in Indonesia. This whole region is part of the Western Gobi Desert. We then find ourselves in Urumqi, China, once part of the ancient Uyghur Empire during Lemurian times, and now part of the Uyghur Autonomous Region of Xinjiang in China. Lop Nor, an ancient salt lake, is next on the alignment. It is in the Taklamakan Desert in the southeastern portion of the Uyghur Autonomous Region. The whole region is associated with the Uyghur Empire. According to James Churchward, in his books about Mu, this ancient empire was very powerful and huge during Lemurian times. It is also significant to note that the Chinese nuclear weapons test base had 4 nuclear testing zones at Lop Nor, starting in 1959, with H-bomb detonation in 1967 until 1966, with 45 nuclear tests conducted. As I was following the alignment, I next found the Qaidam Basin, which is located in the Haichi, Mongol, and the Tibetan Autonomous Region in the Qinghai province in western China. There are 27 salt lakes here, and approximately a third of the basin is desert. From there, the alignment crosses Kunlun Shan, one of the longest mountain ranges in Asia, and forms the northern edge of the Tibetan Plateau south of the Tarim Basin in China. Kunlun is the name of a mythical mountain believed to be a mountain paradise, and the Kunlun Mountains are described as the location of the Shangri-La Monastery in the 1933 novel Lost Horizon by James Hilton. Moving along down the alignment, next comes Lhasa, Tibet, currently the capital of the Tibetan Autonomous Region since 1965, and has at least a 1400-year history that we are told about, since the capital was moved, originally in 633 AD from Yalung. In the 1600s, the fifth Dalai Lama was said to have built the Potala Palace. Thimphu is next, the capital and largest city of the Kingdom of Bhutan. It is situated in the constricted linear valley of the Radak River, a tributary of the Brahmaputra River. Otherwise, this is a landlocked country in the Himalayas. Then it connects to the Brahmaputra River, one of the major rivers of Asia. It is a sacred river, considered to be the son of Brahma, and has a male name, unlike most rivers in India. Its origin is like Manasarovar, meaning Mind Lake, located in Tibet, the most sacred and highest freshwater lake in the world. Next, Chittagong is a major coastal and financial center in southeastern Bangladesh, located on the banks of the Karnafuli River. Between the Chittagong hill tracts and the Bay of Bengal. I see Cox's Bazar on the alignment on the map, so let's see what comes up for that location. The beach at Cox's Bazar is sandy and has a gentle slope, and is the longest natural sea beach in the world at 75 miles. Prior to that, it was known as Panoa, said to mean yellow flower. The modern name derived from the last name of a British East India Company officer who died in 1799. A market was established there, which was named after him, and now it is one of the most visited tourist destinations in Bangladesh. Now on to Sitwe, formerly Akyab in Myanmar, known previously as Burma. Sitwe is the capital of the Rakhine state. It is a port city on the Bay of Bengal and is situated on an estuary island at the confluence of the Kaladan, Muir, and Lemyo rivers. The Gulf of Martaban is an inlet of the Andaman Sea and a part of the Indian Ocean. It has a tide-dominated coastline with the highest tidal range at Elephant Point in the western part of the Gulf. The alignment then comes to Banda Aceh, Indonesia, which suffered extensive damage as a result of the 2004 Boxing Day tsunami, which was believed to be the deadliest tsunami in history, killing more than 230,000 people in 14 countries. It is the capital and largest city of the province of Aceh on the island of Sumatra. It has long been a strategic transportation trading hub in the East Indian Ocean. Its first mention in Western accounts were from Marco Polo's expedition in 1292. He referred to the city as Lambri, from the Lemuri kingdom, which had previously existed there. That sounds a lot like Lemuria. On to the Andaman Sea, which is a marginal sea of the eastern Indian Ocean, separated from the Bay of Bengal by the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, and touching Myanmar, Thailand, and the Malay Peninsula. We have been taught by historical omission to believe that all stone formations are natural occurrences, formed from geologic processes. I think there is another explanation for the massive stonework that you see in these photos that we have not been told about, and that actually represents humanity's highest potential. Next is Siberut, the largest of the Mentawai Islands. These islands are west of the island of Sumatra. Siberut is the most important home for the Mentawai people. Also known for biodiversity of plant and animal species, the Mentawai Islands were impacted by the 2004 Boxing Day earthquake and tsunami. Next is the Sunda Strait, which is located between the islands of Java and Sumatra and connects the Java Sea to the Indian Ocean. There are a couple of noteworthy tidbits about this location. One is that the island of Krakatoa is located here. Krakatoa is a volcanic island that exploded in a major eruption in 1883 with global effects. It was one of the deadliest and most destructive volcanic events in recorded history. It destroyed much of the island, affected the region with pyroclastic flows and volcanic ash. Global aftereffects included tsunamis and climatic changes involving a cooling of temperatures over the next few years. The other thing is that there was a World War II naval battle that took place here in 1942. That was not the only battle that took place on a grid line during the Second World War. There were actually lots of them that did, not only in that particular war, but many others. Next, we come to Christmas Island, which is an Australian external territory. It currently has a small population. It was named as the result of a first sighting by a captain of the British East India Company on Christmas Day in 1643. There are many caves on the island. It is also known for its biological diversity as a result of its isolated location. The next place is Coral Bay, Australia. It is a small town on the coast of Western Australia, north of Perth. The coral starts right at the water's edge. Its main industries are tourism and fishing. The next location is Peak Hill in the Gibson Desert. This particular place comes up on more than one alignment. It is the location of a large gold field. Next stop is the Victoria Desert, where we find the Pinnacles, which remind me of the Carnac Standing Stones in Brittany, France. The last place I'm going to show you on this long-distance alignment and the end of this video is Cape Le Grand National Park in the Goldfields Esperance region of Western Australia. Our highly advanced human ancestors were capable of engineering feats we can't even imagine. The acknowledged megalithic structures they left us around the world continue to amaze us with huge multi-ton blocks of stone perfectly fitted together and clearly demonstrate their capabilities. However, by historical omission, the only thing we can conceive of in regards to big blocks of stone found all over the earth, many times in interesting configurations, is that nature was capable of doing some pretty amazing stuff. So the question becomes, if not nature, who and how? I personally believe that a very advanced ancient civilization of humans operating out of their highest potential did amazing and incredible stonework, for which they receive absolutely no credit. The knowledge about this advanced civilization had to be removed in order to put a system in place to control humanity. I will leave you with this photo of Frenchman's Peak at Australia's Cape Le Grand. I firmly believe that if we had been taught the true history, there would be no mysteries in history.